Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Gendron Tarot by Melanie Gendron. Website in the top here, usgamesinc.com. Feel free to freeze frame if you need to. Of course. Supportive Oracle cards. Whispers of Love by Angela Hartfield. Artwork by Josephine Wall. And there's websites, Blue Angel Online, I want to say, .com. It's not sticking in my brain. It's just not. BlueAngelOnline.com. There you go. Feel free to freeze frame if you want that information. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is Aries. I'm going to take out two of them I already have down here, which they were... Okay, so I feel like we have to wait for these. That's fine. Maybe this isn't as stable as we think. Okay, that's where we're starting off. That's the jumping point. Maybe something isn't as stable as we think. We've got the Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit. Something's not being said. I feel like maybe you're keeping to yourself on either the subject or the position. Like, either you're not talking about it, you're keeping yourself about your opinions about something, or literally whatever you're doing it off by yourself and you're not letting other people be involved in it, or it doesn't seem like they want to be involved in it, so you're doing it on your own. Something isn't as stable as maybe we thought it was. Because I see the King of Wands on your side, which don't get caught up in the gender, but basically you're leading the way and you're doing what you want. You're in complete control. The opposing energy is very interesting to me. You've got the King of Pentacles, which these are different energies, but they're both very strong. And it's just saying you're matching intensity here. Kings don't really control kings. They control their own situations. And something seems to be working very independently of the other. This is really, I feel like, what's causing possibly the breakdown of something. All right, now we'll do these two. Quality time together and consider your foundation. Are those foxes? Those are foxes. Foxes, I like foxes, don't get me wrong. But foxes, sometimes what we think is going on versus what's really going on. There's positive and negatives to all things, you know what I mean? Foxes are really smart. That's a positive. Foxes can be very tricky. That can be considered however you want to consider it. Something isn't right. Something. I feel like when I see fox, it's kind of like really highlighting, like, you feel like things are fine and you're off on your own and nothing's going to get in your way, but there's something with... thinking somebody's going to help you or somebody's going to be there for you, that I don't think that's how this is working. Because I feel like somebody's going to be going off doing their own thing and you're going to be like, hey, I'm ready for that. And they're like, well, I'm not. It's going to be a couple years. Like a couple years. And like the point is for saying a couple years in the sense of like when they're ready to actually come back and help you, it's not valid any longer. It's not going to work for you. The foundation is not as strong as it looked like. The other side does feel like they're going to be there for you as well. I feel like that's a misnomer too, because this is not working. The Six of Cup, no, it's not a cup. It is wand. This is what's not working. This is success. It's not happening. I feel like something's walking away, something's flying away, something's being left behind. Things are not linking up as if... It's almost like we just assumed things were going to link up in a certain way, or things were going to work out eventually the way they needed to. We just kind of let the universe take control of it. And the universe was kind of like, no, you needed to kind of communicate better. That could have worked if you communicated better with each other. This wasn't just, what works out, works out. Sometimes the universe is kind of like, listen, part of this was you to learn how to communicate better and keep your people on point and let people know where you were. The fact that you decided not to do that, this is not going to work in your benefit. This is going to fail. That's kind of the lesson here. I've seen the universe kind of do that. in the sense of like, oh, I'll just let it be, and what happens happens. It's just what I'm only going to end up with what I'm meant to end up with. And the lesson there was like, no, you were supposed to be more attentive to that. You were supposed to pay more attention and work through that and deal with that a little better. That was the point. And the fact that you didn't, you're going to end up with a lot less, and you're hopefully going to learn that you should have paid more attention to this, not just left it to the universe to do it for you. You had work to do with this. You were supposed to put something into this. You were supposed to put some effort, a little bit different effort than you wanted to. And because you didn't, you got the outcome you did. I don't know. It could be harsh for some people to hear, but sometimes that's the thing. We just kind of walk away and like, I'll just let the universe decide for me. And the universe is like, all right, well then you're not getting anything. Like then you're just gonna lack. That's how that's gonna be because you were supposed to put in the effort. That was the point. I don't know. It keeps coming back that way. Like unless I'm missing a piece, let me just highlight something because I feel like that's what the problem is here. Things are not linking up and they could have, but it's because we just kind of walked away from each other. Six of Pentacles, you get in what you get out. you get out what you put in. And then the Sun card. For those of you connecting to this, I feel like what they're saying is they're putting you in the power position to make this, to have the advantage to put this in a different place. If you're okay with this kind of not working out, if you're at peace with that, then you're at peace with that. That's completely fine. But you are also in the position right now. It's either, even if you're looking at this like, well, this just happened like a year or two ago, whatever. If you're looking at this, I've seen this happen a lot too. People are like, well, that happened 2 or 3 years ago, or this happened like 5 months ago. If this is coming to you, it's probably going to repeat. It's probably going to repeat. So before it repeats, like if you're like, this already happened to me, well, it's probably going to repeat. Before it repeats, it's almost like a highlight from the universe saying, before that happens, think about how you rather that would have worked out versus how it did work out. And let's make the appropriate moves forward so you can have a better outcome. I'm just saying. Usually it's kind of like it's about to repeat is why you're getting these messages. And before it repeats, they're like, think it through. How it worked out versus how you wanted it to. Let's think about doing this a different way. Because you can make this better. You can make this more more likable to you, more what you want it to be rather than what you had it. Because I'm getting like this left out in the cold. Both sides are left out in the cold. You're kind of going on doing what you need to do. You're kind of not getting out of it what you wanted. The Temperance card is a good card for Aries, but it's more of a dealing with what's in front of me, not so much making it what I want it to be. Temperance kind of goes with the flow, keeps getting things done. It's very active, very lucrative. Usually very lucky too, quite frankly, but it's kind of handling things as they're handed to me, dealing with what I'm given, not so much creating what I want. It depends. It doesn't seem like it has the control that you're looking for in this situation. The other side seems to go a different direction, totally different direction, goes and does what they want to do because they're already caught up in it. The chance for the Sun card, like the 19 popped out on the dice. I don't know why I'm showing it to you, but there it is. That's the Sun card. That's the best possible outcome, is you communicating and bringing this forward and having this work out differently than it worked out in previous incarnations, previous times around, incarnations, previous moments, previous times this went. For some of you, since I'm using the word incarnation, this might be something that constantly comes around life after life after life that just never seems to correct. Especially if you're looking at this like, yeah, I guess I could make it go differently, but I don't really want to. It's just going to keep happening until you figure it out and start handling it differently. Because the Sun card is a great outcome, though. That's the thing, too. Why wouldn't you want that outcome, that awesome outcome? Communication. Communication, but then feeling... I love this deck because it has the Princess and Prince for the Cups, which to me, the way I read them, it jumps back and forth between Knight and Page for both of them. And I'm getting like... One of the reasons I feel like this might be a little bit more difficult for you is because you're a king energy, you're leading energy. And when you go into this other energy here, it's like I go from Knight to Page, to Knight to Page, to Knight to Page. Sometimes I have to follow, sometimes I have to lead, sometimes I have to follow, sometimes I have to lead. It's going back and forth between that energy and having to communicate and working with that energy. Maybe you don't really like to, maybe you really don't want to, but for the best outcome and to move past this pattern, that's kind of how this needs to work. especially because the other side seems to be managing a lot of things. They seem to understand your value. I'm seeing this card, and if you can see it on the wheel, there's a spider. That's totally a spider. I have no problem telling you I'm not a spider fan. Like, the pictures are nice. I don't want to deal with one in real life, though. Especially if it's bigger than a thumb. I don't want to see it. I don't want to deal with it. But the point is, spiders have a great benefit. I love them outside. I'm thinking, go ahead, you eat those mosquitoes. You go right ahead. You do what you got to do. I just don't want you in the house. That's all I'm saying. I don't really want to share my house with you. But I feel like this might be also how this energy sees you. They see great benefits. They see your purpose. They know you're good at what you do. Maybe they don't want to deal with you all too much. If that's the truth, I feel like you're aware of it. I don't think Aries, I don't think gets upset by that. They're like, yeah, I know. Like, I feel like Aries is like, oh yeah, that's fine. I don't feel like Aries gets bent out of shape. If you don't match with somebody, you're like, yeah, at least they know that. They stay out of my way. That's cool. That's cool. We don't match. That's cool. Just stay out of my way. We're cool. But you need this, whoever this is, you need to work with them to a point so that you can get the best outcome. I feel like this other side kind of does seem to understand that. That's kind of why there's also a trade and barter situation going on here. There's something else here that I'm not touching on, so what am I missing? 10 of Cups, and the 13 is the Death card. Okay, this, if this works out the right way this time, it could end a pattern. That's really cool. It could end a pattern. But this person may make choices where it may be the last time you work with them. I don't see that. If that's the case, I don't see that really like devastating you about that. So take that with a grain of salt. Something else is going to come forward after, and it's going to change the whole situation. It says miracles and blessings. When I see this person with their hand out, I feel something else is going to come in later. If this is worked out correctly, I feel like we end the pattern with this person, and I feel like that might be the end of this situation with them. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. They're finding out what they really want due to this situation, and they're making the choice to move on from it. They're stabilizing the way it works for them best. The way this worked out this time, it feels like it works out well, but it's almost kind of like, yeah, that was good for what it was, but I don't want to do this anymore. And they kind of move on. They just, through this working out correctly, optimally, it stops the pattern, and it also helps them realize what they really want, and they go for that. That's how it's coming through. I guess I just kind of have to go with it for what it is. That's it. That's it. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.